yeah, just dealing with a lot of shame and guilt, you know. Again, it just doesn't end, man. I mean, the shame and guilt and oppression and just like all the pointers or the fingers pointed at you. It's difficult, man. And I'm being financially squeezed right now, you know. So on top of everything, them being financially squeezed, you know. And what I've found out with that is I've been able to, you know, just be like, well, whatever happens is gonna fucking happen. So at least there's not too much stress and worry, but it is there still, you know. There is that anticipation or whatever that feeling is, dread. And the only reason I say that is because, you know, I still have a 14-year-old son, so, you know, that I go through the courts for, you know, with child support and all that shit. So yeah, man, if I get kinked up financially, I'm fucked, you know, with that shit. So, you know, and I've already played that through in my head, and it's, you know, it is what it is, man. And it's a fucked up world. It's a fucked up system, you know. And if you can't keep moving, can't keep going, you're gonna fucking get crushed. But yeah, I got, you know, I'm trying to make some work happen, but I mean, what can you do, you know? I can't push anything because that stresses me out, and that just, I'll be able to get a job and then I just won't be able to do it because I'll be so fucking stressed out. So I just got to remain calm and, you know, do what I can, but not push, you know, because I'm still dealing with social anxiety, you know? I can't be in groups. I can't be enclosed with anybody. I mean, that's crazy. You know, and that again, that is just something that has steady gotten worse. So when I had my major TBI like 9 years ago, you know, I had such bad social anxiety, but when that went away, you know, let's say a couple years later or whatever, and I was able to function again with high amounts of alcohol, you know, still, what was happening was my ability to be in closed spaces, I had to be completely trashed to be like drunk and stoned to be able to be inside enclosed with people. So, you know, and again, that goes back to like, you know, because after that brain injury, I was taking my kids up and we were doing all the holidays at my brother's, you know, and we were spending time and multiple times a year for years and years, you know. And what was happening was I couldn't be inside with everybody, like with all the noises, all the different people and the voices and the music and the dogs, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And as the years progressed, it got worse and worse. Like it went from, you know, I could be inside, but you know, I'd have to constantly step outside, and then it got to where I couldn't do it at all anymore. Like just even step inside real quick to grab something was just real quick to grab something and then get out, you know, because I was just so sensitive to all the noises and everything, man. Everybody's energies and noise. And so yeah, you know, just exhausted, you know. I'm not even working. I spend an hour a day doing phone therapy, you know. Not even, guys, I'm not even fucking spending time like jotting this down. As soon as a fucking idea comes to my head or something, I'm like, okay, it needs to come out, I make a video, and it's about an hour's a day worth of fucking videos I'm making, you know, thereabouts. So it's like an hour of therapy I do a day, and then otherwise it's just like trying to hold it together and heal and process and deal with the pains and the various things that happen throughout the day. And And that's all I've been doing. And that's all I can do, you know? And it's just a shame and guilt of, you know, because that's what you've always told yourself. You got to get try harder. You got to do more. You got to do more. Oh, it's not happening? Oh, it's because you didn't make it happen. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy. Living in such a fucked up system, that's just crazy to say, to even think to yourself. You know, I mean, you got to be a real lazy cocksucker, like, and never did anything in your life, never lifted a finger to sit there and beat yourself up like that constantly and tell yourself you're not doing enough. You know? I mean, that's like a complex, bro. That isn't right, man. You're not supposed to just grind your gears all day, every day, and go, 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 go. It's not how it's supposed to be, man. It's not how it's supposed to be. And there's plenty of people out there doing that and getting nowhere. That's called the hamster wheel. You know? And the shame and guilt that comes along with that when you're not progressing, you're just keeping up or falling behind, is devastating. I mean, it's crushing. The shame and guilt is absolutely crushing. Talking about all this shit, talking about your problems, that shame and guilt, like, that's so unacceptable in society to do that. Like, I'm dealing with so much shame and guilt from that, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm like, oh my God. And it's just a reminder, you know, again, everything's just a reminder of how fucked up we've normalized all this shit. And not saying I'm above it, but I am trying to heal and I am trying to get out of it. I am facing things, you know, I'm not letting things go, you know, I'm admitting things, I'm honest. You know, if I believe one thing and then I see it, evidence the other way, then I change my mind. It's as simple as that. You know, things are very simple for me. The hardest thing for me right now, it would be having to deal with the financials of that, holding that over my head, just knowing that it also entails things with my kids being involved. So, but other than that, I mean, the pain, I've been dealing with the pains, that doesn't matter. You know, all this other shit. So for me, it would be the financials, but, you know, I'd say for a lot of people, it's the financials. Yeah. Just people don't talk about it, you know, and people keep on putting their shit on credit cards. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. You guys need to stop doing that. You need to quit signing your name away, you know? Oh, man. That is nuts. So I don't know what it was, but I haven't done this in 10 years, 15 years maybe, at least 10 years. But I took a look at the debt, clock on the internet today, the United States debt clock. I don't know why. Something just said, hey man, check that ridiculous number out. And I can't even remember. Like, it's such an astronomical number. I can't even remember. But I remember, because I didn't even pay attention to, like, the actual number. Like, it's just such an astronomical number, it doesn't even matter. It's so astronomical. And I'm sitting there looking at and so what I'm looking at, I just got transfixed immediately by because it's like keeping the debt in real time, you know? So the counter's just going like that, and the numbers are moving up by the dollar. And I sat there and watched it for 2 minutes, and it went up by $2 million, I believe. That's what it was. And if you don't believe me, you can go turn on the fucking thing. It was so ridiculous. I got sick. I was like, at first I thought it was. At first I was transfixed by the numbers, like, and just the idea that they're crushing like me, like I'm supposed to. I have no debt, but I'm having a hard time keeping up by just paying my monthly bills, right? But I'm supposed to work harder and learn a lesson. But the United States government, right, who wants to chastise me for not keeping up, they're so ridiculously in debt. It's like unbelievable. And I'm just watching this astronomical number in 2 minutes. You're talking about $1 million a minute, and I was just So I went from just transfixed by how quickly the number was moving to, and then realizing, you know, how I'm being beaten and chastised for not doing enough for my little pittance every month. I mean, guys, you know, $2,000, $1,500 a month I need to survive. And it's like I'm having a hard time, but it's, you know, it's all my fault because I need to work harder and I just haven't done enough. And I'm a shitty person, you know? And I need professional help, and I need to get back to work. I need to quit being lazy. And I mean, it's, you know, and it's sick. It's just sick. But the United States government, you know, they need your vote. You guys got to keep voting and keep sending your kids to war, and you guys got to keep propping up that system. And yeah, man, it makes me sick, man. It makes me real sick to my stomach. Because they put it in your face. And you guys can go and look at it and then just continue to treat your family and yourself like shit, you know? And still look to these assholes for help and salvation. And it's not coming. It's not coming, guys. I mean, you'll get a form of salvation. You'll get a form of it. But the chains that come along with it is going to be horrendous. You're going to be begging for one bullet to just end the misery. But anyways, just things I've been thinking. Just want to make a note again, you know, the shame and guilt, I'm still dealing with that. It hasn't gone anywhere. Now, I think it's gotten a little bit lighter, but there's, like, I'm processing things so quickly, it's very hard for me to pinpoint things at this moment sometimes. So, you know, and instead of, like I said, instead of trying to get wrapped up in pinpointing things anyways, I'm just trying to heal and get it done. So, yep.